Hello again. I've been thinking lately about doing a series of tutorials on some of the hidden features in Howler. Some things that are maybe very powerful but don't necessarily have a lot of presence in the GUI, that might be hidden under a bunch of buttons or under a bunch of drop down menus, that kind of thing. So I thought first we'd do one on the browser, the Humble browser, which is maybe a good place to start, and then we can do some other things later. Maybe you can give me some feedback what you'd like to see tutorialized. I thought, of course, image replacement is a good place. Poisson blending and all that would be another good place to visit again. But let's just get started. And this is the browser. It's open from the File and Browse menu there. And some things you can do with this. You can treat it just like a regular menu. You can do these typical Windows sorts of things with it. Another useful thing that's in here is the ability to spawn more than one copy of the browser, so you can do file management inside of this just like you do in Windows or in the desktop environment. You can copy files back and forth. Very useful. Another great thing that we have here is the ability to create favorites. So say you find a folder that you want to use again and again, or you don't want to have to look for it later. You can just make sure you have the right one copied, and you can go to favorite, click that, and it will now become a favorite. And you'll be able to go here, this drop down, and you'll be able to select that later. So that's very useful. Another thing that's also very useful is the ability to store images directly from the browser. Let's say we have an image we particularly like, and we want to store a copy of it without loading it directly and creating a new image. We can just go ahead and do store from there, and it will be stored directly in our little sidebar here. And you can continue to do this as many times as you like. Great for storing up reference images, that kind of thing. So, great feature. Another thing that you can do here is typical file management, things like rename and delete, of course, and it's all very useful. But something that's not directly obvious is, say you have an image, you like whales, or you like aquatic and marine mammals, and you have a bunch of pictures somewhere on your hard drive, but you're not sure where. Well, let's just find that one, and this is some kind of sea lion, I guess, and we're gonna say find similar, and just go ahead and find matches, and it'll start looking, and it'll find all the fairly similar looking files there that you have. And the way this works is that it scans your cache. So your image cache, your thumbnail cache, instead of searching your entire hard drive exhaustively, it searches all the places you've been, all the places you've looked for files before, and it scans that area and finds the nearest matching image, the closest matching image, in order of closeness or order of similarity. And the more places you visited, say I'd visited this area, I would have seen more whales. And now that I visited those things, those would be in my cache. And if I did the thing again, I went back here and found that same source image and did find similar, I'll go to find matches, and you can now see, let's see, at least a few of these are showing up here. There's a couple whales there and there, one over here, and so it's doing a little better job now of finding similar images. And there are also some options. You can match colors or color distance and that sort of thing, not just form and composition. So it might do a better job in certain cases. Again, we see whales here and here. There's some dolphins and that sort of thing. So it's doing what it can with the small number of files that it's had available to it. But say I'd had this installed for a couple of months, and I've done a lot of browsing. This is a new computer. I've never used it for this purpose before. That's why it's probably not finding much. But say I'd been using this for a number of years or months, and I've browsed all over this computer, it'd go ahead and find a lot more, probably make much better matches. So that's finding similar images in Howler. It makes it much easier to find images if you don't know where they're at, or if you had them all over your hard drive somewhere. So hope that's been interesting. This first look at just some of the hidden features in Howler. Not sure what we'll do next. Give me some feedback, and we'll talk to you later.